If you've been dealing with anger or resentment, or maybe you're just not really satisfied with where you are in life, maybe you're looking back at 2025 and you're looking where you are now in 2026, and you just feel like you haven't taken that step that you thought you would. You don't feel accomplished yet, or maybe you realize that you're just allowing people to treat you a certain way, and that's leading you to be frustrated. Maybe you're angry because you still haven't gotten that dream job that you want. This video is absolutely for you if you've been dealing with any of those emotions, because something that I have noticed in my personal life is that it is easy to allow things to influence how you feel on a daily basis, and whether you're going to allow it to bring you down, or whether you allow yourself to actually have the mental toughness and fortitude to actually overcome the adversities, overcome the negative thoughts that come up in your mind, not allow your brain to start telling stories that are completely negative and have no facts, when in turn you could be allowing your brain to actually tell you positive things instead. But that's so hard because our brain's default setting is to keep us safe. So we're naturally going to be thinking of the negative things first. And so if you've been dealing with anger with just, someone's been treating you a certain way, and you just don't want to take it anymore, or you just allow yourself to always start looking at certain things and you're just exploring and always finding the negative things instead of the positive. Well, I'm here to tell you that something I learned personally is that you don't have to do that. And the one major thing that you need to do is absolutely surrender. You don't have to take the burden of everything and feel like you have to figure it all out. You don't have to let people treat you a certain way. So how do you overcome this and how do you surrender? You just let it go. You just give it up to God. Something I started doing, and I'm sharing this video because it absolutely works. And I feel like it's important to share things that I know and I've personally experienced that have absolutely tremendously changed my life and made things so much better. But something I started doing in the morning as soon as I wake up is, first thing I used to do is grab the phone and start looking at ESPN or look at different stats or, check the news, whatever it may be. But now I wake up, I look around, I just thank God for everything that's going on around me, just waking up in a bed, just being thankful for the dog that's laying next to me. The little things that I know other people would be dying to have and I take for granted, I am thankful for those. But the number one thing I do is when I get in the shower now is I think to myself all the things that would normally come up first, right? And first thing in the morning, a lot of times we're overwhelmed with the day, especially if you have to think about different scheduling that you have to do, different people that you have to encounter that maybe you're not looking forward to, certain projects, maybe even it's a family member that has just been a very difficult situation and you're trying to figure out, how do I deal with this? Well, first thing I started doing is I started allowing those thoughts to kind of come into my head, but then as they come in, I release them. And I know what I have control over and I know what I don't. The things I don't have control over, I can't control how someone truly is, like their personality, who they are. I have no control over that, but I have control over how I manage them. So if it's somebody that has been influencing my behavior and making me feel bad because maybe the way they talk to me, maybe I feel like they're passive aggressive, maybe I just don't like how they are with other people, I don't like the way they say things, maybe it's that person at work and how they speak at a meeting, I don't have control over them. But I have control over what I allow to influence me. So when that thought comes in and I'm thinking to myself, I have to deal with this in the day, I say, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. This is not my responsibility. My responsibility is to maintain my composure, look around, and just have gratitude for everything that I have. And if that person wants to act a certain way and that person feels like they need to be in that situation where they want to portray themselves to others in a way that's really not that great and not that nice, well, that's on them. I can't control that. So God, I give this to you. I give this person, this situation to you. I have no control over it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want them taking the thoughts in my mind and me thinking about this stuff. Like, that's a waste of my time. That's a waste of my thoughts. I'm filling my mind with things that aren't really going to be helpful and not allowing myself to have the space needed to be creative and be intuitive and be sharp and ready for when I accomplish the day. So I give this situation to you. When I wake up, and maybe normally if somebody is looking around not happy with their current situation, find the things that you can be grateful for. There's always something you can be grateful for, even if it's just the first breath of air that you have. Be thankful for a new day. And when when you're getting ready and you need the quiet, usually I was putting on ESPN, listening to the radio or something like that. Obviously, I'm a big sports guy. I stopped doing that. You need silence. You need clarity first thing in the morning. And so I needed to be able to collect my own thoughts, whether they were positive or negative, and know how to manage them and structure them for the day. So be grateful for what you currently have. But as the thoughts come in and you're not happy with your current situation, you're so frustrated because of where you currently are now, where you told yourself you were going to be a year ago, well, give it up. Let it go. Because a lot of what is keeping you exactly where you are is your mental state, is how you feel. If you're always feeling down on yourself and you're always feeling like you're taking on the way of the world and you're frustrated with your current situation, well, you're allowing all that negativity to fill your mind, and you're not allowing yourself the opportunity to see opportunities that might be right in front of you because you're constantly in your own head thinking about all the negative. You need clarity. You need space for the good to come in. You need to be readily available to receive the gifts that God has for you, but you can't receive them if you're not in a receiving state of mind. If you're constantly tuning into all the negativity and allowing yourself to be in a loop of thinking about all the things you don't like in your life, you're not going to be able to see all the things that you can appreciate and that you do like. So you got to let it go. And letting it go first thing in the morning is the key, because it sets the tone for your entire day. So what are the things that you notice first thing in the morning that come into your head that might be negative, that might actually hold you back, that might bring you down a notch when it comes to how your emotional state is? Being in a state of gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. It's in the Bible. I know it's something that I really practice when it comes to what I've heard from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's been on point with everything I've read from him. So it's very important that you just release these things and just give it to God. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I started doing that on a daily basis, and this is something I do in the shower because I just feel like I'm more relaxed, I'm in a relaxed state, I can mentally kind of think clear, and all the thoughts that are normally just naturally just coming, and even if they were negative or positive, I know how to structure them and what to do with them. And the ones that are negative, I let them go. The ones that are negative and I can do something about, that I have control over, I think to myself, how can I manage this today? And how can I do it to the best of my ability so there's a positive outcome to it, right? You can't really do that. You can't really sit there and structure your day mentally in a good way for a good outcome if all you can see is negative. You got to have clarity. So I really just started saying to myself, give it up. Like, this is all you. I need to cast this over to you. I hand this off to you because I don't want to deal with it. And I feel like I know when I handle things on my own and I try to take control thinking I know what's best for the outcome, it never works out very well. But every time I give it up, I'll tell you what, you feel it come off your shoulders. And as soon as you do it and you mean it, like you have faith knowing that it's going to get handled, I promise you, you'll feel it instantly and you'll feel refreshed and you'll feel like there's what's the next step? What else can I just let go of? And the next thing you know, by the time you're done, it's amazing how many negative thoughts will actually creep into your mind organically and naturally. And think about, what would you have normally done if you didn't just let them go? You would have let them pile up. It's like a pile of garbage. At some point, you got to take the trash out. Well, take the trash out first thing. Get rid of it now. Don't let it pile. Don't let it overflow in the trash can. Don't let cans and things roll down the street. It all is going to pile up and pile up and pile up. And that's when people usually just have these nervous breakdowns. They start having panic attacks because there's too much weight of the negative on their shoulders. Get rid of it early and early on, and the good things, the things that you want, will start flooding in. And it's those things you want that are going to start overflowing, because God wants to provide you with an abundant life. God wants to provide you with the gifts and the opportunities that He has for you, that are on the path of what His plan is for your life. And you have complete control over your state of mind, over how you handle certain situations, and He will have your back as long as you ask Him for help. And that's the next thing. After I release all the negative things, I ask God, God, I surrender today. I surrender completely to you. I want to be on autopilot. You provide the breadcrumbs and I will follow. Because when I do this, I don't feel like I have to take on the weight of the world starting from scratch again. I feel like, okay, like this day is going to go exactly how it's meant to go. And I'm going to see the signs I need to see. I'm going to see the opportunities, and I'm going to have that inspirational feeling, inside. When you feel like you're meant to do something, like you're being drawn to do something, like something is calling you to get to accomplish a certain task. You actually, when you relinquish all the negative and you surrender and you tell God to just guide your day, it's amazing how you will see these and you will feel that draw to certain things throughout the day, knowing that you're supposed to do them. Things that you would never have seen before that could be absolutely positive, and opportunities for, maybe a new task that is going to allow you to really showcase your abilities at work. So upper management sees it. Next thing you know, you're like on your way to a promotion. If you were always in the negative and you're looking down on yourself and you're thinking to yourself, well, this is never going to happen for me. Like I've been waiting this long, they probably don't even understand what I do. They probably don't even see me. I'm not good at this. Like this is never going to happen. Like, are you in a state of mind where you're actually going to allow positive things, opportunities to open up so you can actually go through that door and see what's on the other side? Or is that door going to stay shut because you are slamming it shut every single morning, every single day when you're thinking negative and thinking negative about yourself? You got to open that door. And the only way to open that door is to allow God to help you open that door, and have faith knowing that the right things are going to come along at the right time. Timing is absolutely key. Look, sometimes things happen in life and they don't go the way we want them to, but it's for a reason. If you think about you as a person right now, the growth that you've had throughout your life, the development that you've had throughout your life, the skills that you've absorbed and obtained throughout your life, it comes from, sometimes having very difficult situations happen, but it's for the better. It sharpens you. It makes you, more mentally tough. It makes you more prepared for the next level. If you were always staying in your comfort zone, you would never grow. Think about it like this. When you go to the gym, there's got to be pain before progress. And that pain is a good pain. It means that you're strengthening your muscles. You're getting stronger. You actually have to go through pain and adversity and tension in order to actually grow and become stronger and better. And when I thought about this analogy, because I'm a gym goer, and I thought to myself, I'm like, every single day I put myself under tension at the gym. But by the time I leave, I'm more mentally and physically strong. Sometimes you got to go through the tension in order to come out at the right, in the right state of mind, stronger, better, more sharp, better vision, better attitude. It's important. So embrace some of the things that are happening to your life that might be bad. And you might be looking at your current situation and thinking to yourself, it's a loss, when actually what it is, it's a learning. It's a time to learn about how tough you can be in certain situations, how much you can overcome. And when you overcome something that is a struggle or a challenge, or overcoming adversity, and you come out on the other side, do you not always feel better? Do you not always look back and say, I did that? I was able to overcome that. I got through that time. Look at me now. It's a sense of accomplishment, and you should be proud of that. Right? So every situation is not a bad situation if you can learn something from it. In every situation, every single day, there's something to learn. There's something to grow from, and when it comes to letting go and casting your anxieties and all your troubles onto the Lord and allowing Him to just deal with it throughout the day, which I'm telling you, it works every single time. What is this? This is 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxieties onto Him because He cares for you. And He does. He absolutely cares for you. And if you believe that and you trust that and you truly, with the right state of mind, with the right amount of faith, just give everything up and say, I will follow. You take all the negative, lead me on the right path. I promise you, you will be led on the right path. And just try it. Try it today. Try it tomorrow. And watch what happens. Watch how you feel. Watch all the different things that happen. Watch the same people that were talking to you in a passive aggressive way or in a way that you did not like. your energy, your state of mind can absolutely influence somebody else. So it's going to be hard for somebody to be upset with somebody who looks like that's smiling in a good mood. Like, you can't break through that. I remember we were doing this thing at church, and we were doing a challenge, and they were saying they were putting two people in front of each other, and one person would just smile, right? And just have this huge smile. And they gave the other person 10 seconds to not do the same thing, and nobody could do it. It's contagious. Positive attitude, positive energy, the light of God that's inside you, the passion that you have for life, the passion that you have to serve other people is absolutely contagious. So guys, you don't have to take the burden of life. You don't have to take the burden of the negative and put all that weight on you. That's the tension. But you can relinquish it, and you can come out on the other side stronger, better, more alert, more prepared, and with much greater faith, because I promise you, you will feel it, you will see it. And when you have that blind faith, when you just trust that everything is going to work out, it does. It always does. And ever since I started doing this, my days have gotten a lot better. Even the struggles that I had on a daily basis, whether it was not hitting certain goals at work or not accomplishing what I wanted to when it came to a conversation with certain people, every time I've relinquished this and I put myself in a better state of mind, everything has changed. Next thing I know, because I'm coming from a place of being a servant and not being selfish and worrying about my own needs, but wanting to better serve others and do it in that perspective, everything just kind of falls into place. Next thing I know, people around me are, the people I work with, everybody's in a better mood because of how I portray myself and how I want to better serve them and see them succeed. Next thing I know, they're succeeding and we're hitting our goals. That person that maybe I was going to have a tough situation, a tough conversation with, because I went into it with the right attitude, not expecting a bad conversation, but expecting a solution and a compromise and a way that I can say, how can I better serve this person so they can feel more comfortable with me? Next thing I know, it wasn't nearly as bad. And actually, we got on the same page and everything worked out fine. You have control of your emotions, which can absolutely influence other people. So guys, I hope this helps you. This is something that has helped me tremendously. I feel almost blessed that God provides this cheat code for us to just give all our burdens up to Him, and He takes care of it and He guides us throughout the day. Use it. I mean, it's a blueprint for how you succeed in life. Use it, and have faith, and everything is going to work out fine. I hope this video helps you. I'll see you in the next one.